Although the Pebble Steel has been out for a few years now, I think it's still one of the classiest smartwatches available on the market today. It might not have a color display like some of the newer Pebbles, but the OG Pebble Steel can still rock some awesome watch faces. Hey everyone, this is Zaim Siddiqui from Zeus Reviews, and here are my top 10 favorite watch faces for the OG Pebble Steel. We start the list with Bold Hour. This is a creative watch face, but it can be a bit difficult to read sometimes. The huge hour looks great for numbers which fill up the whole screen, but it looks awkward when it's 1 something or 7 something o'clock, since you're left with a lot of empty space. Even when you get to double digits, like 11 o'clock, the watch face looks strangely empty, even if it is filling up the entire screen. Number 9 is Metro Flip. This is a watch face which takes design cues from Windows Live tiles. The flip animations are buttery smooth, and a quick flick of the wrist shows you the date, much like the heads-up display you get for notifications on your iOS or Android device. You can't really customize user interface on a Pebble Steel because it doesn't have a color display. Even if you try to make the tile colors grey, black or white, it doesn't really change anything. But if you flick your wrist within 2 seconds of launching the watch face, you can invert the colors. You'll look like an idiot when you try to change the colors because it's very picky with the whole flick within 2 seconds thing. But if you manage to get it right, then the inverted UI looks pretty cool. At number 8 we've got Pebble's own sliding text. This is a classic watch face which has a super simplistic design. There are no settings or customization options, but it looks great on the Pebble Steel's display. Minor pixelation is visible, especially with the bolded hour text, but it's quickly forgiven thanks to that iconic sliding animation. Plus, other developers in the Pebble Store have taken this design and modified it, so you can get it in different languages and with optional extras like having the date displayed underneath. Number 7 is Clean and Smart because that's exactly what the user interface is. You get the time, the date, the weather and the battery level in a user interface which doesn't overburden you with information. There are a lot of customization options too, and you can invert the entire color scheme if you don't like the black background. In my opinion, the inverted UI looks much cleaner. The only problem I have with this watch face is that there is a lot of pixelation. It's especially noticeable in the default black color scheme, and that lets the entire watch face down. Also, you'll need to get a free key if you want to use the weather services, and you can actually get the key at developer.forecast.io. The link for that is in the description below, so make sure you check that out. Speaking of which, number 6 on the list is Weather Buzz. It's a no-nonsense watch face. You want the weather and the time? Boom, here you go, now what? Information is immediately legible and bold, and I really like the dual color display for time and weather. Each half of the display complements the other one really well, and there's a sort of yin-yang type relationship going on here. Every time you flick your wrist, you get different information on the bottom half. It cycles between current weather, wind speed, temperature, humidity levels, and battery life. You want to customize user interface? Too bad. You can choose if you want it to vibrate every hour or whether the units should be metric or imperial, but that's about all you get. Number 5 sounds better if you do it in a terrible mob accent, so it's 90 degrees, see? Yeah, see? Anyway, if you think this is a ridiculous watch face, try checking the time when you're reading a book, whether it's on your Kindle or it's an actual book, or when you're shaking your fist at someone, maybe when you're writing, or when you're typing on your keyboard. Then it makes perfect sense. There's a lot of information on the screen, and you can customize most elements of the UI. You can change the temperature units, whether the time area should be inverted, if you want to show the battery level, if you want to show the date or the weather, etc. The developer gets additional bonus points because they accommodate both types of watch wearers. They've got a watch face called 180 degrees, which is exactly the same thing, but it's for people who wear their watch on the other wrist. Up next is Big Shadow. There are no fancy animations here, but you don't really need them because the 3D effect looks absolutely gorgeous. There aren't as many customization options as you'd get on a color display, but you can still make sure the watch face pops. You can choose between a few presets or come up with your own grayscale color scheme. I'm particularly fond of the black background look because for some reason it reminds me of comic books, and the default color scheme also looks pretty cool. When you shake your wrist, you get a status screen which shows you the date, battery level, and BT connectivity. It's not the prettiest user interface, and the animation does stutter quite a lot, which is why I've disabled it. Aside from that, this is a beautiful watch face which genuinely looks like it's coming out of the screen. Number 3 is Slides of Time. Aimed mainly at pebbles with a color display, this sliding watch face looks amazing on the OG Pebble Steel. There are a lot of customization options which come with this sleek watch face. You can choose what the UI size should be, whether there should be animations, how often the animations should take place, the type of highlighting there should be on the main road, the overall color scheme, and loads of other options as well. You can even customize what the rows display. You can pick anything from random numbers to the current temperature to the battery level. You can even customize a splash screen to say whatever you want. It's particularly useful if you want to do some subliminal messaging, which is pretty cool. Second on the list is Squared 4.0. It's a big watch face with excellent sliding animations. You can customize some aspects of the UI, like how big it should be, what the bottom line should show, and how the date should be formatted. You can't really customize the colors, although you do get to choose whether it should use 3 colors or the traditional black and white. As with other watch faces, you can invert the entire color scheme. I like the black text on a white background look because to random passers-by it looks like I'm checking the time on a barcode. A flick of the wrist shows battery level accompanied with that excellent sliding animation. I would have preferred the option to see the weather or current temperature because I don't really see the point of checking battery levels on a smartwatch which lasts for days anyway. My current favorite watch face is perhaps the most simple one. It's called Center Stage. As the name suggests, you just get the time in the middle of your screen. That's it. There are no settings, no options to change the color scheme or the font size or anything. It just tells the time, and I love that. It's pure simplicity and it looks wonderful. It's very much like a generic digital watch until you get a notification which reminds you that you're actually wearing a smartwatch. And that completes my list of the top 10 watch faces for the Pebble Steel. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. If you downloaded any of these watch faces, make sure you show your love for the developers. And I'd love to know what watch faces you're rocking on your Pebble. So let me know in the comments below or post a picture on Instagram and tag me at Zeus Siddiqui. This has been Zaim Siddiqui from Zeus Reviews, over and out.